Yo and hello there and welcome back my fellow pixelers. Today do I have none other than a special for you today. That's right, we're finally releasing the 100 sub special, which is the Pokemon themed one, which is Charizard versus Blastoise. Once again I want to say a huge shout out and massive thank you for everyone who has subscribed to the channel, and thank you for getting over 100 subs. Now I know why I'm saying this, the video is kind of light in itself as we are quite well past 100 subs, but again thank you for that. Now with that being said, before we get into today's blocks we're going to be using for today and all the other colours and the dimensions of the build, I just want to say a quick little thing that I'll be having another special coming out just like this, a bit different though, and that will be a Naruto themed one, probably either tomorrow or the next day after tomorrow, and then once we finish all of those builds we'll also be releasing another special which will be a My Hero Academia special. Now with that note being said, let's get back straight in today's video, which is Charizard vs Blastoise Part 1. So without further ado, for today's block, the same blocks as usual. If you don't know what blocks we're usually using, well, we're going to be using our black concrete, which is our block that we use for the outline, and our gold block. And that's all we're going to be needing for today, and pretty much most of the rest of the parts until we actually get to the shading in. And for all the other colours and blocks you're going to need, I'm just going to put a list on the screen. So if you want to pause the video and grab the blocks now and have them nice and early, when we get to those finalish parts, when we go for the shading in, then you can grab all the blocks. If you just want to wait and grab them when we get to the part where we actually need them, then you can do that as well. So without further ado, now on to the dimensions. So I'll make things nice and simple. For those that already have a big space like mine and you literally got nothing out here, then you don't need to listen to the dimensions or how big it is or so you can just skip to this time right here on the screen to whatever time it says. And if for those that do need to know the dimensions to make sure you don't collide with any of the builds, let me tell you what we want to be looking like. So first of all, we're going to basically be starting on the left and we're pretty much going to build over to the right. But obviously we're not starting from the very left because obviously his tail sticks out over here. So on the left hand side, you want to find a good starting point. And we should have a certain amount of space going to the left to make sure nothing is in this space, because if it is in that space, that means it's going to collide into the build. And we want to make sure we have a 14 space going from our starting point. So this is our starting point right here, and we should have a 14 space going to the left from here. And you actually want more than a 14 space, but you want to make sure it's definitely not within 14, because 14 is how far it goes out to the left, but you do also want it a bit more as well, because obviously you want some space between the builds. And realistically, from the right hand side, you should have nothing over to the right hand side. If you do have something over to the right hand side, then this is how many blocks you should have space going to the right, which I'll put a number on the screen because it's a very large amount of number. Now obviously you don't want to count that amount of numbers, so the best way would be to just look at your coordinates, turn coordinates on, and then that'll be a lot easier. So you don't need to have the exact estimates from the coordinates, you actually need a bit more space, so just add like an extra 20-40 space, so you got space between your builds. Now with all that being said, let's actually get on to the building. So for those that skip past the dimensions, welcome, and for those that are already doing the dimensions, then we're going to get started now. And for our first area that we're going to be starting off, what we're going to be doing first is going to be taking out our gold block, and we're going to be placing 8 gold blocks going up from your starting point that you've marked out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, just like so. Once you place 8 gold blocks up, we're going to take out our black concrete, and we're going to place 1 black concrete on top of the 8 gold blocks, just like so. Once you place that 1 black concrete on top, we're then going to place 1 to the right, and from this 1 that you place to the right, we're then going to fly into the left by 1, so back to the first black concrete that we placed on top of the 8 gold blocks, and we're then going to place 1 black concrete going up from here. And there we go, we should be looking like this so far. Once you've done this, we're going to destroy those gold blocks, because we don't need those placing blocks anymore. And there we go, once you destroyed those, we're going to fly all the way back up to this area. So for the area that we're going to start off with first, we're going to start with the one that we placed on top. So fly back to this one right here. Once you fly back to this one that we placed on top, we're then going to place another one on top. And there we go. So it looks like 2 sticking up right here so far. Once you've done this, we're then going to do 9 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 9. And there we go. Once you've done 9 upright diagonals from there, when there's 9 upright diagonal, we're then going to place 1 on top. We're then going to fly underneath by 1, so back to the 9-foot right diagonal, and then we're going to place 4 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there we go. We should be looking like this so far. Once you place that 4 to the right, we're then going to do 6 bottom right diagonals from the end of here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And there we go. From the 6th bottom right diagonal, we're then going to place 5 going underneath from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like so. And from this 5th one that we place underneath, we're then going to place 1 to the right, and then we're going to fly into the left by 1, so back to this left corner right here. And then from this bottom left corner, we're then going to place 17 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And there you go. As you can see, that 17th one that we placed to the left should have connected to that one that we placed to the right from that corner right there. And that's 18 basically in total right there, sticking to each end. Now, once we have done that, that means we've done everything correctly so far in this build. And then once we've done this, we're going to fly to the next area that we're going to go off. So for the next area that we'll be going off, we're going to be flying back up to the one that we placed on top right here. So where we did those 9 upright diagonals and we placed one on top of the 9th upright diagonal, we're going to fly back to that one that we placed on top all the way up here. Once you have flown back to this one that we placed on top here, continue on with our black concrete, we're then going to place 4 going up from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like so. Once you place 4 going up, we're then going to place 1 to the left, and then we're going to fly into the right by 1, so back to this right corner right here, and we're then going to place 4 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like so. So we should be looking like that so far. Once you place that 4 to the right, we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from the end of here, just like so. Once you've done that bottom right diagonal, we're then going to place another 4 going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like so. And then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from the end of this 5 in total. Do a bottom right diagonal, just like so. And then this time from this bottom right diagonal, we're then going to place 11 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Then from this 11th one that we place to the right, we're then going to do an upright diagonal, just like so. And then from this upright diagonal, we're then going to place 9 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then from this 9th one that we place to the right, we're then going to do another upright diagonal, just like so. And then from this upright diagonal, we're then going to place 5 going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like so. Once you place this 5 to the right, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from the end of here. Then this time from this upright diagonal, we're then going to place 7 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. From the 7th one that we place to the right, we're going to place 1 underneath, just like so. Then from this one that we place underneath, we're going to fly back up by 1, so back up to the right corner right here. Once you're flying back up to this right corner, we're then going to place 1 going to the right, just like so. And from this one that we place to the right, we're then going to do an upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2, just like so. So we should be looking like that so far. Once we've done this, we're going to fly back to that one that we just placed underneath. So back to this point right here. Once you're flying back to this one that we placed underneath, we're then going to place another 2 going underneath from here. So 1 and 2. And there we go. So it looks like 3 sticking out underneath in total right now. Then from the second one that we just placed underneath, so the 3rd one in total, we're then going to place 1 to the right. And then we're going to fly into the left by 1, so back to the left corner. And then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 1 underneath, just like so. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And then we're going to place 1 to the right. And from this one that we just placed to the right here, we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here, just like so. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're then going to place 1 to the right, just like so. And then going to do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place another 1 to the right, just like so. And then once you've done this, we're then going to do 4 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like so. And from this 4th bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath. And then from this one that we just placed underneath, we're then going to place 13 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Once you place 13 going to the left, we're then going to place 1 on top. And then we're going to fly underneath by 1, so back to this bottom left corner. And we're then going to place 1 to the left. And there we go. We should be looking like this so far. Once you've done this, we're then going to fly back to that one that we just placed on top. So back to this one right here. And once you've flown back to this one, we're then going to do an upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 on top, just like so. And then we're going to do 2 upright diagonals. So 1 and 2. Then from the second upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 on top. And then there you go. As you can see, that one that we just placed on top right there should connect in an upright diagonal direction to this right corner right here, or essentially actually more of a left corner, but as you can see, it connects to that corner piece right there in an upright diagonal direction to it. Now once you have done that, we're then going to fly to this one that we just placed to the left, so to this point right here. Once you've flown to this one that we placed to the left right here, we're then going to do a bottom left diagonal. Then from this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 5 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just like so. And then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from the end of here. And then from that bottom left diagonal that we just did, we're then going to place 19 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. And there you go. As you can see from that 19th one that you placed to the left, it should have connected to that one that was sticking out to the right there. And if it has connected, that means we've done everything correctly so far. So we're going to zoom out. So far, as you can see, we've done the bottom of his foot. And as you can see, these are kind of his toes, or claws, you could say, sticking out right here. So then, once you have done this, we're then going to zoom out. And for the next area that we're going to be going off, we're going to be going off and flying to the right hand side. And we're going to be flying to this one that we placed to the right here. So as you can see, we've got that one sticking out to the right there. We're going to be flying all the way over to here. So to this one right here. Then once you've flown to the one that you placed to the right here, we're then going to place another 16 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Once you place the 16 going to the right, we're then going to place 1 on top. Then we're going to fly underneath by 1, so back to this bottom right corner, and place 1 to the right. We're then going to zoom out, so we should be looking like that right there. And then once you've done this, we're going to fly to the one that we placed on top. So fly back to this one right here. Once you've flown back to the one that we placed on top right here, we're then going to do 4 up left diagonals. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there we go. From this 4th up left diagonal, we're then going to place 8 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And there you go. As you can see, that 8th one that we just placed to the left should have connected in a bottom left diagonal direction to this 3 right here. And then continuing on from this 8 that we just placed to the left, we're then going to do 2 up left diagonals. So 1 and 2, just like so. So we should be looking like this so far. Now from the second up left diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the left, just like so. And then once you've done this 2 right here, we're then going to repeat this 2 here 2 more times in a up left diagonal direction. So you do an up left diagonal and you place 1 to the left, that's 1. Then you do another up left diagonal, place another 1 to the left, and that's 2. And there you go. So you should have 3 of those 2's in total going in an up left diagonal direction. So 1, 2, and 3, as you can see. If you got 3 of those 2's, fly back towards the end one, Once you're flowing back towards the end one, we're then going to do 2 up left diagonals. So 1 and 2. Then from the second up left diagonal, we're then going to place 1 going to the left, just like so. And then once you've done this 2, we're then going to repeat this 2 here 4 more times, this time in an up left diagonal direction. So we're going to do an up left diagonal and place 1 to the left, that's 1. Another up left diagonal, another 1 to the left, that's 2. Another up left diagonal, another 1 to the left, that's 3. And another up left diagonal, another 1 to the left, that's 4. Then there we go. And we should have 5 of those 2s in total going in an up left diagonal direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And as you can see, we've got 5 of them. So fly back towards the end 1. Once you're flying back towards the end 1 right here, we're then going to do 2 up left diagonals. So 1 and 2, just like so. From the second up left diagonal, we're then going to place 1 to the left. And then once you've done this, we're then going to repeat this 2 here 4 more times in the up left diagonal direction. So do an up left diagonal, place 1 to the left, that's 1. Another up left diagonal, another 1 to the left, that's 2. Another up left diagonal, another 1 to the left, that's 3. And another up left diagonal, and another 1 to the left, and that's 4. Once again, that should be 5 of those 2s going in the up left diagonal direction in total right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As you can see, we've got 5 of them, so fly back towards the end 1. Once you're flying back towards the end 1, do another up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, we're then going to place 3 going to the left. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. Once you've done this, we're then going to do another up left diagonal from here. And from this up left diagonal, we're then going to place 6 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then from the 6th one that we place to the left, we're then going to do 2 bottom left diagonals. So 1 and 2. And then from the second bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 4 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just like so. Once you place this 4 going to the left, we're then going to place 1 on top from here. And then once you place this 1 on top, we're going to fly underneath by 1, so back to this bottom left corner. Once you're flying back to this bottom left corner, we're then going to do 2 bottom left diagonals. So 1 and 2, and just like so. And for the second bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 2 to the left. So 1 and 2, and just like so. Once we've done this, we're then going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 4 and going to the left this time. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like so. And then once you've done this, we're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from the end of here. And then this time from this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 5 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like so. Once you place this 5 to the left, we're then going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 2 going to the left from here. So 1 and 2, just like so. We're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 4 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then once you place this 4 to the left, we're then going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 3 going to the left. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. Once you place this 3 to the left, we're then going to place 2 going underneath. So 1 and 2, just like so. And once you place this 2 underneath, we're then going to do 2 bottom right diagonals. So 1 and 2. And there we go. And from the second bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right, just like so. And then we're going to do 3 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. From this third bottom right diagonal, we're then going to place 1 to the right. And then once you place this 1 to the right, we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place another 1 to the right. And then from here, we're going to do 2 bottom right diagonals. So 1 and 2. And from the second bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 4 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just like so. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And then this time from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 5 going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And there you go. As you can see, that fifth one that you placed going to the right there should connect in a bottom right diagonal direction to this one that's sticking out to the left right here. Once we have done this, we're going to zoom out and have a look at what we've done so far. So as you can see right there, if you can't tell, that is the foot underneath, as I already said, and this part is the tail right here. And over here is part of actually the front of the body, which you don't really get to see much of that. It's just because from the angle, you only get to see a bit underneath. And then with that note being said, that is going to be the end of part 1 today. So we're going to keep these parts nice and short. This is actually going to be quite quick, this build is, because for some reason with Pokemon, it's not as complex design, so there's actually not a lot of outlining that we actually really need to do. But there definitely is quite a lot of outlining considering that there is 2 builds, but it definitely won't be as long as people think. Now with that note being said, if you have enjoyed this build, feel free to go and hit that like button and let me know. And if you're new to the channel and you find yourself coming back often, and you like any of the builds or like this build, make sure to go and hit that subscribe button. It really helps out. And it gets us closer to that 500 sub goal when I'll be announcing how I'm going to be doing my suggestions. Now with all that being said, I'll see you in the next tutorial. And without further ado, peace out, enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.